I beat Radical Red only using Pokemon cards. Radical Red is a hard hack of Pokemon Fire Red, including all 8 generations of Pokemon. It also adds some really great quality of life features, such as helping making grinding less annoying, you can actually pay to change your Pokemon's natures, and a more diverse wild Pokemon selection on each route. But I said, screw all that, let's randomize the game. Everything in this game is randomized except for boss level trainers, which include all gym leaders, rival battles, a few random pop-ups here and there. Just important battles are not randomized. Grinding, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eat a rare candy. Nuzlocke, we're for sure doing that one. Yeah, for sure. And then 1 Pokemon per route? Yes, kind of. You see, I wanted to add some randomization while also feeding my addiction, which is opening Pokemon cards. So I came to a compromise. On each route, I would open a pack of Pokemon cards, and for the first half of the game, I would open the pack, we would choose a single Pokemon, set the rest of the pack aside, encounter, catch, then go to the next route, pull back up the pack, go, oh, do we want to choose another one from this? Later in the run, I started going 1 pack per route, once it kind of started to even out a little bit there. So with that housekeeping out of the way, it's time to choose our starter. Alright, I don't want to see anything in here before I have it open, since these all could be potential starters. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Let's see some energy. Got some grass energy to kick things off here. Cleansing gloves. Could be a starter. So also with this, whatever the Pokemon is on the card, that's the Pokemon we're allowed to encounter. If Charizard is on a card, we aren't encountering a Charmander, we aren't encountering a Charmeleon, we're encountering a Charizard. Same as if there are any shinies. I don't think there are any shiny Pokemon in this set. Prinplup could be a really good starter to get ourselves Empoleon. Chimchar, also some power in there. With Infernape. Cast Form, not too much. Golett, some power in there. Impidimp, Shinx, Bibarel honestly should be the choice. Once we decided on Prinplup, there was just the small matter of using cheat codes to make sure that Prinplup would be the Pokemon that we caught. In doing things this way, we do run into a couple of problems that I do just want to address really fast. For one, we're going to see a Prinplup appear on screen, but in the upper left where it says the name, it's going to say whatever Pokemon would have spawned there, which doesn't change too much. Except for the moves that the wild Pokemon have, it still has the typing and the catch rate and the stats of Prinplup, but it has the moveset of whatever Pokemon would have spawned in its place. But catch rate still stays the same. So if we encounter like a Zekrom, even though it may say it's a Steelix, it still has the catch rate of a Steelix, which, you know, that might be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. The route to our first gym wasn't that bad overall. For the Route 1 encounter, the chat and I decided to pick Golett, thinking it could be a big help in the Brock battle. While I may not know fully what to expect from these teams, I know they aren't going to be random, and the chat here and there has given me a little bit of insight. But I really did no research before starting this challenge, which is kind of stupid for me. But you'll see, that's just me. Viridian City grew a patch of grass and we grabbed a Shinx. I grabbed the Old Rod and fished in Pallet Town for Impidimp, and this would be an ongoing strategy of mine. Since I was using rare candies in place of grinding, wherever I could I would use the Old Rod to fish, which would guarantee a level 5 Pokemon to catch, meaning its catch rate would decrease, and, you know, it would be less likely to kill one of my Pokemon. Route 22, I put the catch rate to the test as we attempted to catch a Chimchar. For comparison, Bidoof, the god Pokemon, at level 5 and 100% health, has an 87.255% chance of being caught with a Pokeball. Chimchar, a fire monkey, and not even a good one, at level 5 with 100% with a Pokeball has a 23.739% chance of being caught. So I killed it. Heading into Route 2, we threw away our cards and opened the new pack. Alright, our first potential Pokemon is Clang. First potential Pokemon is Clang that we could encounter. Staravia. Staravia would be solid. Just, I don't know about catch rate. Although in the first gym, Piplup. Okay, well. kind of already have that line. Trapinch. Turtwig. We're just trying to hit up all of the starters, which, again, have a high catch rate, which we don't want to go with. Gibble. Chemeco. An Ultra Ball. Does that mean I get an Ultra Ball? Does this mean I get a singular Ultra Ball? I don't know. Is that what that means? If I pull an Ultra Ball, do I get an Ultra Ball? And Clank. Not a great pack.
So we chose Berry, but after seeing their catch rate was 0.00000000001%, we went with the Trapinch instead. With Nom Nom on our side, nothing will ever be able to stop us. Inside the scary forest, we had our first real challenge of this challenge. Pokemon Trainer Brandon. I swear, this person thinks just because their dad's a gym leader, they can just stroll up on people in a very scary and dark forest and challenge them. I should also mention in boss battles such as these, you are unable to open your bag. It's not like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. The game just doesn't let you. So, like, how am I supposed to even stall if I can't use Hyper Potions? That's my whole strategy. Oh, Monstrosity killed them. Cool. Oh, nice. So we have the EXP share. So, let's just get through the forest. Nice. Wait, what's this? Bug Catcher Doug? You have an... Okay, well, first off, an illegal critical hit, and Monstrosity becomes our first casualty. And thus, it was time to open a new pack. We chose our Viridian Forest encounter and grab an excellent encounter. It's Execute. We caught Execute. We then stopped by the Pokemon Center to describe how I felt.
So come on, tell me about yourself. I'd love to hear your profile. Tell me something good about you. What's your profile? A profile is written using 4 words or phrases? Oh, absolutely. Delete all of that. Absolutely. Absolutely disappoint. What's your profile? Well, I absolutely disappoint myself. Okay? Your profile really says something that's true. It's called depression. Now that I know you better, it makes even better friends than ever. Yeah, we're great friends.
Now it was time for what was the most important encounter of the entire series. This encounter went so far that it became an emote on the Twitch channel, and if I can just find a plush of it, I will own it. Clang! The Clang Gang. It just doesn't stop. With the sleek beauty of steel gears turning end over end, everyone is clanging around to join the Clang Gang. Listen up, kids. Never visit museums. It's a terrible idea. You go in excited to learn about bones and stuff, and then some bird leader from a different region altogether just kills your Trapinch. It's not worth it. Barry would have survived. With our beautiful team of 5, we head to challenge the rock-hard trainer Brock. Just like normal, Brock leads with Geodude. Ooh, what's this? This is not Geodude. This is for sure some other... You know what? Let's just switch in Ned. Oh, the rock exploded. Weird. Nice. So next up is Brock's Vulpix. A switch to Primplup, and a few bubbles later, we find ourselves up against Onix. At 27 HP, we go for a peck. But a devastating Bulldoze, dealing 14 points of damage, leaves us with a choice. Lose our starter to get a safe swap, or switch to a pile of eggs. Well, a pile of eggs, because it's causing the AA bring in the scary bird fossil Arkin, and using my expert knowledge of lightning beats feathers, Sparks comes in to, oh, you have Bulldoze too. Back to the eggs! The eggs died. Hey, what's that here? I hear something clanging! Oh, Clang died. Ned, you've got this, right? Oh, Ned died. Pripster is also dead. Everyone's dead. Hey, like, what if just for fun, I tried to beat Brock again before we reset? Like we lost the Nuzlocke, the game's over. We have to restart. But now that I, like, know the team, like, let's just try it for... oh, I won. Hey, so this is where the first rule change of the game, of the entire challenge happened. This entire game is a Nuzlocke. Until it's a gym leader. Then it's not. after easily beating Brock, I set my sights to Misty. First things first, it's time to open a new pack.
We got the V-Star to kick things off. Wiz has an addiction. Yes, I do. Nothing we can get with that. All right, Beartic, Monferno. So we keep hitting Gen 4 starters. Hawlucha, Electabuzz, Bidoof, Clefairy, Grimer, Flygon. Okay.
On Route 3, fighting through the trainers with no problem, we pick up a Clefairy, and then I buy the Magikarp outside of Mount Moon to use as a token to get ourselves an additional encounter on Route 3, and we choose Grotle. Inside of Mount Moon, we pick up a Hawlucha, and after grabbing the Helix Fossil, I have yet another surprise. A Team Rocket admin is actually on the job site. Archer has a pretty decent team, but leveling throughout Mount Moon has actually given me the level advantage. So Clang Gang does what they do best, and they gear grind their way through the first enemy. Going into a fire type, we swap out to save Clang and almost lose our new Hawlucha to Mineana, but hey, they pull it out. So entering into Cerulean City, we take on our main rival of the series, PTCG, the Pokemon trading card game. They control our fate, after all. Do we get good mons, or do we get trash? Anyways, Clang Gang has an incredible move called Gear Grind. I mentioned it earlier. It's wonderful because it hits twice for about 50 power, meaning if a Pokemon has a Focus Sash or the ability Sturdy, we still have the ability to kill it in turn 1, which is great. You'll be seeing a lot of Clang throughout this challenge. Using Mako's Sparks and Ned, we are able to finish up this battle, granting access to the Nugget Bridge. Sadly, we have to turn down an offer to join Team Rocket, but we do grab our next two encounters, Shroomish and Torkoal. We save Bill and we prep for Misty, adding Grotle to our team. Misty has a terrifying team, and for the first time, I really start to regret saying I'd Nuzlocke this to begin with. Misty leads with Frogadier, and just because my abilities are random doesn't mean the leaders are. So Frogadier uses Ice Punch, which already sucks because I brought a Grass type, and this changes Frogadier's typing to Ice, meaning that Grass move that I just hit is now only 1 times effective instead of super effective to their formal Water typing. So after trying and failing a few different times, I switch up the team, dropping Ned the Golett and bringing on Moki the Shroomish. I lead Hawlucha, power up punching to increase my attack, but also baiting the Ice Punch thanks to Hawlucha being a flying type. The AI sees a 2 times effective move, and with Frogadier down Ice type, I'm able to one-shot with Low Sweep. Starmie comes in, so we shift to Grotle to get into a healing match. Starmie spams Recover while we spam Mega Drain until we become the victor. For Floatzel, we bring in Sparks, who takes a big hit, but is also able to give a big hit. Dying, but allowing Hawlucha to come in and speed with a power-up punch to kill. Misty's final Pokemon is Lantern. We hit a Low Sleep and then stall out the Lantern thanks to Hawlucha's random ability, Liquid Ooze. The AI sees a super effective move with Parabolic Charge, a move that damages the opponent while also healing half of the damage dealt to the user. Liquid Ooze, though, oh, it's great. That causes that half damage that you were trying to heal to now be dealt as damage instead. And so with the help of Roost to keep us up, we are able to defeat Misty. 2 badges in hand, we make our way south, stopping to encounter Duskull, and while preparing to get our next encounter, I foolishly walk into a trainer, and Sparks, our Luxio, dies. Skunkull, our Duskull, also dies, but like we had him for like 5 minutes, so it doesn't hurt that much. Moki is able to bring us to safety. Nope, they died too. Macho is able to bring us to safety. We lose our next encounter because it's a Moltres. Chat really wanted me with Pokeballs to try and catch a Moltres. For reference, a level 14 Moltres at 1 HP with a Pokeball has a 5.031% chance of catching it. So anyways, I critted it. It died. Let's move on. We opened up a new pack for Route 11, and the chat decided on Heatran. Heatran on 1 HP has a solid 3.546% chance of catching with a Pokeball. A Great Ball does bring those odds up, and putting it to sleep gets us to about 9.556% of catching. So about an easy 5 balls later, we actually have our first legendary. Then one of my mods paid me $10, and I do the worst selling out I could. I name it Heat Russie. Yeah. Then the game crashed. Lost all that progress. Caught a Burmy on the ship deck, got a Toxel in Diglett's cave, fought around the SSN, and then was pleasantly surprised there was no rival fight. Rubbed the old dude's back, got cut, used cut, found ourselves ready to take on Lieutenant Surge. Once again, I found myself just failing and failing and failing. This is a boss battle, so the Nuzlocke isn't currently in play for this. What finally worked for me was an expert play. I led my Torterra to Earthquake their Pincurkin. The AI, seeing the Pokemon dead in one hit, and no current high damaging moves, decides to switch. So I follow suit into... Oh gosh, why did I accept $10? Into Heat Russie. As Surge goes into Vigavolt, Flame Charge causes them to eat the reduced super effective Aqua Berry, and we deal almost nothing. It Volt switches back into Pincurchin, and we easily bulldoze our way into Alolan Raichu. They Volt switch again into Vigavolt, and we hit it with a Flame Charge before they kill our Heatran, while Volt switching back into Raichu. That's a lot. Torterra one-shots Raichu with Earthquake and finishes Vigavolt with a second, and this is also where we encounter our first Mega, Manectric. Manectric sucks. This thing, along with the fast Baltoon, the other Pokemon, both of which have the type coverage moves you can think of, and, you know, this caused me to lose this fight for about half an hour before this last attempt. Half an hour with speed up. They kill Torterra with a Flame Burst, and we bring out Ned to hit some damage with Stomping Tantrum. Our new friend Starlight, the Toxicity, eats a Volt Switch to start working their way through Boltund. We switch into our Torkoal to eat a Thunderfang and kill with Flamethrower. At this point, all 5 of our Pokemon have died other than Starlight, and they take the hit and kill the Mega Manectric, bringing us to our 3rd badge. Kicking off my 4th stream, we grabbed the bike and we made our way to Route 9, where we chose Frostmoth as the encounter. Pripster evolved into Empoleon, and Route 10 we took Obstagoon. Inside the rock tunnel we grabbed Vulpix and we made our way to Lavender Town, without much issue. Route 8 brought us a new encounter and we opened a new pack. Alright, are you guys ready to see what our new potential Pokemon could be? We got ourselves a V-card, a V-Star card. Ooh, I can't do anything with it though. Monferno as a potential choice. Hard to catch. Shroomish, we could get our Shroomish back. Piplup, don't really need. We already have one. Turtwig, don't really need. Cinco, Carablast, Reverse Hollow, Cynthia's Ambition. Draw cards till you have 5 in your hand. Pokemon were knocked out to your last turn. A very cool card. Nothing we need. And ooh, shoot! Oh shoot! We pulled a Charizard, but looking at the current team and usable Pokemon that I had, I was leaning quite heavily on the fire side. So a new pack was in order. Pulling a super cool looking Urshifu, the chat decided Goomy would be the best grab. On the other side of Route 8, tragedy was waiting in the form of a 3-headed bird with the ability Motor Drive. Taking my discharge to speed up its self-destruct, our Starlight had gone dim. With tears streaking down our metaphorical face, we encounter Yamask on Route 7 and, killed it instead of catching it. In the department store, I bought a Firestone to evolve Kuruma into Ninetales and got everyone decently leveled. I also decided to forego the Eevee encounter granted in Celadon City. I really don't know why I did this. I don't know. Knowing how unforgiving Radical Red was, I wasn't really expecting Gym 4 to be any different. So I start off our fight against Erica with a pretty decent amount of coverage. Erica's lead is a Rillaboom with Grassy Surge, turning the battlefield to grassy terrain which boosts grass-type moves. We are able to outspeed with a Flamethrower as Rillaboom U-turns into Sudowoodo. I switch into Torterra so we can take a Head Smash, and we get healed by the grassy terrain. My thoughts on using it to boost my own Razor Leaf to do some big damage, but ultimately, we die to a Woodhammer. Our Hawlucha comes in with a Flying Press, Hawlucha's signature move, dealing either fighting or flying damage based on the need, which also allows us to easily smash Sudowoodo. With Meganium coming in, we try to go for a similar play, but get taken down by a mix of Dazzling Gleam and Giga Drain. Our Frostmoth comes in to die to an Ancient Power before we can make use of the Hell setup for Blizzard, and the hero of our story returns, Clang Gang, gear grinding to victory. We sack them for a safe switch into Heatran, and then we Flame Charge to take down Superior. Now, being Sanic fast, we Flame Charge Rillaboom, and Erica sends out her final Pokemon, Venusaur, who of course Mega Evolves. While we may be fast, we can't outrun an Earth Power, and Heatran goes down. Now, something interesting about how this game deals with random abilities for our Pokemon: every real-world day that passes, it will re-randomize abilities. I really don't understand why it does this. So each time I streamed, my Pokemon could be better or worse than the stream before it. In this case, Heatran now had the ability Innards Out, which, when a Pokemon is KO'd, it deals however much HP it has left to the attacking Pokemon. In this case, I had 78 health, so that is how we damaged them. Adding that to our Flame Charge, and Venusaur isn't looking great, allowing our Ninetales to hit a Flamethrower, almost killing Venusaur. And just when I thought my first attempt at Erica was over, Karuma held? At 21 HP, we outspeed for the last Flamethrower, and we first try defeat a gym leader. This is the first time. We failed at Brock, we failed at Misty, we failed at Surge. I beat a gym leader first try. Maybe I am good at Pokemon. Before we head to our 5th gym, it was time for more Rocket Plot. In the game corner, we make our way through their underground structure, where again tragedy was waiting. This time in the form of an Alvin and the Chipmunks reject who countered Hawlucha, and it ended Hawlucha's career before they even began to soar. The rest of the game corner brought no real issues, but then it was time to take on Giovanni. This fight truly sucked. Giovanni has a great team, and one of the most difficult of all Mega Pokemon. Mega Kangaskhan, one of the most broken Megas. When Kangaskhan Megas, its baby jumps out of its pouch. Hey, but don't let its cuteness blind you. Each time Kangaskhan attacks, the baby also attacks for the same amount of damage. So a turn 1 fake out, which, is just there to do a little bit of damage and stop you, it could kill you. It could kill you. After a lot of trial and error, here's what finally worked for me. Leading our Sliggoo against the Nidoking, we were able to chip half their health before falling to an Ice Beam. Pripster is able to get off a couple of Aqua Jets before being taken down by Kangaskhan's Fake Out, which is good as it allows Karuma to come in and make use of the speed, not having to worry about its Fake Out. On this specific day, Ninetales had randomly had Serene Grace, which boosts the likelihood of additional effects occurring. In this case, Flamethrower has an ability to burn, which is typically only 10%, and it's the only reason I was able to move past this Kangaskhan. When a Pokemon is burned, assuming they don't have a move or ability to benefit from it, their attack stat is halved, meaning the power-up punch only deals me 15 damage, so hey, we got a nice break there. Giovanni gets scared and swaps out to Honchkrow, and we easily defeat them with a switch into Heatran and a Rock Tomb. Next up, their second scary Pokemon is Infernape. Heatran is sitting at 37 HP, and with weakness to fighting, can't really take a close combat. With the low HP, Innards Out does really nothing for us, but the bright side is, Infernape using close combat drops their defense, which gives Ned the ability to Bad Tantrum and one-shot the Infernape. Kangaskhan returns and dies to another Bad Tantrum, and with this we see Giovanni's final Pokemon. It took all of these attempts, like a half hour of using Speed Up, to finally see their final Pokemon was a Rotom. So, thanks to Torterra, we easily make work of it. And that is how I ended the 4th stream, standing outside the Pokemon Tower, hopeful, I guess? Kicking off Stream 5, I had a bit of computer issues, so the background looks a little meh, but you know what's not meh? Our encounter for the Pokemon Tower. We pick up a Ralts and we continue our way to the top. And since the Pokemon is a graveyard, it only makes sense to lose a Pokemon in here. Thus, our Torterra's watch does end. The Pokemon Tower has a wild twist in store of place of the typical Marowak. Instead, a shiny Dubwool that absolutely demolishes my team, being a solid 10 levels over the level cap. Can't catch this thing, I tried, you can't. So we decided that Nuzlocke doesn't apply to this fight. It's a boss Pokemon, it's uncatchable, so it's okay that I lost.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So we switch things up a bit and bring in Obstagoose, who is able to take a Flare Blitz and answers with Counter. Counter is a physical attack which doubles the damage dealt from taking a physical attack, but somehow this stupid sheep lives on like 1 HP, and also luckily for me I have Mach Punch, which is priority, and we just punch it in the face. And upstairs, we fight our way through a few trainers, make our way down, and we now have the Pokeflute. Now it's time for one of my least favorite parts of Gen 1 runs. Mostly because this is where I actually lost over 2 hours of progress in my Living Dex series, which you should absolutely check out. So it just still holds a sour taste for me. Using my practice speedrun info, I can take the best path. Not to be quick, but I just want to fight fewer people. Because I'm afraid. Clang Gang continues to clang around and even evolves. Upstairs, we get our first boss battle of Silph, PTCG, our rival, who proceeds to wipe the floor with my team. I don't have much of anything to counter them, so I sprint to Celadon City and get an encounter, Choodle. I also use my Pokeflute on Snorlax, west of Celadon for a Snover, and then I head down to Route 12 south of Lavender Town and fish up more Pico. Probably like my third or favorite Pikachu clone. What's yours? I then spend the rest of the stream trying to switch out different moves. I try and take on the Fighter's Dojo, which is now run by Chuck, and if you win you get a Focus Sash, which is when a Pokemon holds it, if they're at full HP, they will instead only drop to 1 HP. But I lose that fight too. Frustrated and defeated, I say goodnight to the stream and I go to bed. Restless, I toss and I turn, trying to think of how I can ever get past my rival, the Pokemon trading card game. And that's where it hit me. More cards! So I open up some more cards, I head to Viridian and get a fishing encounter of Luxio, which, actually just now watching this back, we got our Shinx encounter there. So I shouldn't be able to get an encounter in Viridian City, but I did forget about it, and I actually even named this one the exact same name as the one that died. We're just not going to talk about it. I decide to stop focusing on the Focus Sash and go back to our rival in Silph Co. And on the second attempt of the day, I found a path that worked. They lead with Staraptor and me with Sparks. The AI seeing Luxio would instead close combat instead of U-turn, which would allow me the chance to Thunder Fang and Sucker Punch, defeating them and bringing out Electivire. At which point I could switch into Ned, who wouldn't be affected by the electric attack, while still being able to take a big hit from Ice Punch and able to one-shot with Earthquake. Ned's ability on this stream was Emergency Exit, meaning if they got too low of HP, they would auto-switch out, meaning that we would get a free switch to the next Pokemon. The bad news is we don't know what's coming in, and it's different each time. So I choose to go into Abomasnow, and they choose Darmanitan. So I switch back to Sparks to die, just so I can have a safe switch into Snapper, our Dreadnought. We get some big damage off to Liquidation, but end up dying to an Earthquake. I switch to Ninetales and they U-turn into Azumarill, and Ned comes in to die, giving the safe switch to Abomasnow, who hits 3 Bullet Seeds. They eat a Play Rough and they hit 3 more to kill it. Darmanitan comes back in, killing Abomasnow, and Ninetales is able to finish them off, leaving with just their Mega Venusaur. I think Mega Venusaur is like the #1 Mega we see in this playthrough, but I could be wrong. I've made it here a couple times, and this one was incredibly sad. After our first turn, they put me to sleep, and I thought it was over, but our Ninetales says, no thanks, I'm not tired, and bounces back and dies. Yeah, it died. But it did do enough that Obstagoose could come in and double edge it, almost killing it before falling asleep itself. But hey, they wake up turn 2 and they finish the fight. I really hate that I have to keep saying Obstagoose. But we still have one big fight left in Silph, Giovanni. So I decided to take the Lapras as the token Pokemon, and then as usual, Radical Red slaps me in the face with a battle right before Giovanni. But with a nice spin, or terrible, depending on how this goes, Brendan shows up and we get to do a double battle, each choosing 3 Mons. So I take Ninetales, Golurk, and Luxio, and Brandon has Masquerain, Exploud, and Sceptile. So, you know, easy. I immediately switch into Golurk so I take no damage from the Fake Out, while Brendan Bug Buzzes Gothitzel to almost nothing, and they finish it with another, while we Earthquake, which barely affects the Masquerain, and it one-shots the Incineroar. They bring out Edgy Slash and Primarina, and Masquerain Giga Drains them, and I Earthquake them, and so we get them pretty low. Unfortunately, a Hyper Voice ends me, and a Shadow Claw ends them. We return with Sparks and Exploud. Edgy Slash does what they do best, and they King Shield, meaning that I can focus fully on the other Pokemon, who I outspeed, which gives us a free turn. Mao comes in and I Sucker Punch them as they Mega Evolve, which does nothing. Ninetales comes in, hitching a Flamethrower to almost kill them, and the burn actually to finish it off. Exploud deals with Aegislash, and then all they have left is Houndoom. I die, but hey, Brandon is able to carry me to a victory, so that's all that matters, right? Now, leaving just Giovanni. Easy. I obviously lost. Time for more encounters. We add Zarude Sandstorm, and we open up some more packs. Radiant Heatran was such a cool pull, and at the end of this day, this challenge is about beating Radical Red, but I just have so much fun opening cards. I switch around the team a little bit more before coming back to try again. With a team of Empoleon, Golurk, Zarude, Frostmoth, Luxio, and Clang, I head in. Leading Pripster versus Hippowdon, and knowing at this point how the AI thinks, it wants to set up Stealth Rocks and then switch to a Heavy Hitter. So I Brime and then switch into Frostmoth as they switch into Garchomp, and I take a ton of damage from the rocks and then almost die to the Garchomp. But at 8 health, I'm able to set up the Hail and bring out Golurk. Taking almost no damage from the rocks, we Earthquake and get Earthquaked back, almost killing us, which causes Golurk to emergency exit, and we bring out Zarude to finish off the Garchomp. Mega Kangaskhan comes in and I get flashbacks to every time I fought them. You know, the one time. We are faked out to death and Clang Gang comes clinging on out. We're able to set up 2 different shift gears while they switch into Extra Gel, and they start Sword Dancing, which allows me to 2-turn kill. Hippowdon comes back and we grind them, and Kangaskhan returns. They fake out, and with our next turn, thanks to our speed boost, gear grind them to dust. Giovanni's final Pokemon comes out. A Haunted Teapot? With weak armor? We one-shot it with gear grind. We get a free Master Ball, and while walking past the gym, we finally get a Mega Ring of all our own. Riding the high of victory, we take Chuck back on. I evolve Ralts up to Gardevoir, and I'm finally able to defeat Chuck and bring the 6th stream to a close.
At the halfway point, as far as streams are concerned, it's time to challenge Sabrina. I've gotten very good at getting through Sabrina's gym. You just brute force it until you get there. Easy. Sabrina's battle is an interesting one. Unlike all previous gyms, this one is a double battle. I tried out a few different team makeups and I lost a handful of times, most times honestly just resetting as soon as one piece didn't work, until I finally ended up with this team. Clang and Frostmoth, Gardevoir, Luxray, Clefairy, and Zarude. Leading Clang and Mothra was my best go-to 90% of the time. Sabrina led Hatterene and Indeedee, which one gear grind would take out the Hatterene and outspeed them before they could do anything. Indeedee would hit an Expanding Force, which hits both Pokemon. Frostmoth would go to half, and Clang loses a 4th of health. Then Frostmoth would hit their Bug Buzz, killing Indeedee. Sabrina brings out Conquerdorl and Crawdaunt. I switch Clang into Zarude, and Frostmoth hits a Bug Buzz on Crawdaunt. They're Focus Sash so it doesn't kill, but Crawdaunt crunches back and kills Mothra. I'm wrong on what to expect from the Conquerdorl, and they Drain Punch Zarude to 6 HP. I bring in Puffy the Clefairy, Zarude U-turns into Crawdaunt and switches into Gardevoir, and Puffy Moonblasts, taking Conquerdorl to half. They end up Drain Punching Gardevoir, who resists it. Sabrina brings out their own Gardevoir, who Mega Evolves. Their Expanding Force almost kills us both, but we manage to land a Hypnosis and put their Gardevoir to sleep. Puffy almost kills with a Moonblast, and our Gardevoir falls to a Fire Blast.
Clang does what they do best and clang around, killing Gardevoir, and we Drain Kiss the Conqueror roll. Sabrina only has Porygon 2 left. And this Porygon is thick. Like, we Gear Grind and Power Up Punch it, almost taking it to half, but it's able to set up a Trick Room, meaning it now outspeeds us. Its Ice Beam kills Puffy, and we Gear Grind. One more Gear Grind will kill it. I bring back my 6 HP Zarude, who is able to draw in the Ice Beam from the AI, which allows Clang Gang to finish it off with a Gear Grind. We heal up and head towards Fuchsia, but first, let's open some more cards. No big hits in our pack, but some interesting potential encounters. On Route 17, we Quick Ball a Rowlet. Route 18, it's time for another pack, and we get a full art, but it's Cinderace, and we already have so much fire coverage, but hey, it is a beautiful looking card, so I grabbed Grubbin instead. Also, this is the time I decided to start cheating just a tiny bit more. I gave myself a lot of big mushrooms, so that way I could fly back to Cerulean City and trade those to the move tutor, so that way I could give the Pokemon I caught some actual decent moves. Route 19, I caught Krogunk. Inside Fuchsia City, we open a new pack for our encounter. No big hits, but we do catch a Staravia thanks to the pack. Outside the Safari Zone, we have another fight with Brendan. This one was surprisingly easy for me. They led Metagross, who is accidentally still a Staravia, thanks to me catching that last one. I forgot to switch the cheat off. So they Stealth Rock and they leave. Crawdunk comes out and we Earthquake. We die to Liquidation, but I bring out Icky Vicky, the Vikavolt. And at this point, I'm trying to lose so I can reset. I didn't have a close save, and I wanted to redo the fight since I messed up with Metagross. But Vikavolt dies, and I bring in Ninetales, who dies to Liquidation. Good. So I throw a Leaf Braid with a Dedusai to kill Crawdont, then bring in Medicham and Ice Pump. Great! I'm almost there. I guess I've almost killed it. Clang comes out, and I decide to Shift Gear to waste some turns until I die. But after 2 Shift Gears and surviving a Focus Blast on 15 HP, Clang just can't keep from clanging around in Gear Grinds. And like I said earlier, Gear Grind is a move that hits twice. I hit once and kill this Gardevoir. That's wild. It didn't even get its double hits, just one hit, it's dead. Clang grinds up Medicham, Exploud, Sceptile even Megas, but Clang doesn't care. And then the Metagross comes back in. But it's still Staravia. Hey, but look, we can't take this win from Clang, right? So I head into the Safari Zone, attempting to catch a Sneasel, but it runs. I grab Surf and the Teeth, trade those for Strength, and prepare for Koga's Gym. I failed this one a lot, and I guess that balanced to my speed with Brandon and Sabrina. The team that finally did it for me was Marnie the Morpeko, Clang Gang, Ned our Golurk, Eddie the Dedusai, Heatran, and Luxray Sparks. I led Marnie to get rid of the Swellow. They Boom Burst and it takes me to half, but it's fine. We Aura Rill again on Greninja, surviving the Water Shuriken attack on 14 HP, but we do one shot. Marnie outspeeds the Acelgor with another Aurora Will, and they survive on 1, and we drop to Bug Buzz. Clang comes in, clanging around, and by that I mean dying to Focus Blast before doing anything. Heatran comes in, dodges the Focus Blast, and kills. With Drapion, we suffer a critical hit. Still sitting over half, Heatran starts bulldozing. We get off 2 of those before dying. Eddie finishes them off with 1,000 arrows. Dragapult kills Eddie with Shadow Ball, and Luxray is able to hit 2 Sucker Punches to kill Dragapult. For Toxtricity, who can Mega Evolve in this game, which for this game, any Pokemon that has a Gigantamax form, that's their Mega Evolution. I Sucker Punch and die, leaving me with just Ned. Ned eats a Sludge Bomb and Earthquakes us to a win, thus ending my 7th stream. Stream 8 was a fun one. It was time for Legendary Pokemon, and I'd actually come up with how I wanted to deal with Legendaries. Not just making them more encounters, but giving them what they were. Legendary. So I had a few of the 25th anniversary packs, which if you don't know, was to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and this is still probably one of my favorite packs to open. All of the art is great, and you have the chance to pull some really good cards. The downside is they only come with 4 cards per pack, but the majority of pulls from this are legendary Pokemon, so it works for this idea. Inside the power plant, I catch Seadra, and then it's time to open the first legendary pack. Celebrations, at least that
Okay. Okay. So we could choose Zekrom as our legendary. We could choose Reshiram as our legendary. We could choose Claydol as our legendary. Or we could choose Solgaleo as our legendary encounter.
I choose Zekrom as the encounter, which fits with it being a power plant and everything. I grab Palpitoad on Route 15, a Whisper on 14, and Castform on 13. Route 20, I catch Lapras, which, side note, I really love Lapras. I would love to see an evolution added for it. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Inside of Seafoam Island, I catch Spheal, and I find the Laprasite. There's also a Keldeo here, so I encounter it as a legendary and open a 25th pack.
Alright, Groudon is a choice. Our Keldeo could be a Groudon. Our Keldeo could be an Xerneas. Our Keldeo could be a Kyogre. It would only make sense if we had Yveltal in here. Or it could be a flying Pikachu.
We go with Kyogre. For Articuno, we open another pack.
Okay. Another Kyogre. We will not attempt Kyogre since we just got one. Ho-Oh. We could go for Ho-Oh. Zekrom we already have. Oh, shoot. Who do we catch?
Pick Mew. At Cinnabar Island, I do some prep work and go to head to the Pokemon Mansion when May greets us. Another rival battle. Yay. This fight really gave me a decent amount of trouble, unlike Brandon's last go. Clang is able to set up shift gears and deal with Solrock and Breloom, but does fall to Mantric. Heatran comes in, but they switch to a Flygon who one-shots me. Ice Miser is also one-shot by Flygon, which brings in Golurk, and they're able to kill with an Earthquake, but they end up dropping to the Mantric. Eddie is able to finish them off with 1,000 arrows and Synthesis until they can switch to Relicanth into Blaziken. I switch to Zekrom as they Mega Blaziken, and we Zen Headbutt as they start to set up the Swords Dance. But we score a crit, and they dance no more, leaving just Relicanth, who I Fusion Bolt into in one shot. I fish up a Vanillite for Cinnabar and head into the Pokemon Mansion. I pull and catch an Onix, and we clear the Pokemon Mansion. I then beat my head against the wall fighting Blaine for the rest of the stream before calling it quits and rethinking my strategy. I started Stream 9 as any should, another pack. I decided between streams before going to Blaine again I'd grab another encounter north of Cinnabar. So for Route 21, Shat thought it would be funny if we got Bidoof. And thus I was back attempting Blaine. It took me an hour of attempts, and here's what worked. I brought Kiwi the Kyogre, Snapper the Dreadnought with a Megastone, Lapra the Lapras with a Megastone, Ned the Golurk, Ice Miser the Abomasnow, and Eleganza the Gardevoir. I let out Kiwi against the Torkoal, who sets up the Sun and outspeeds Origin Pulse to one-shot. Origin Pulse also isn't 100% accuracy, but when it hits, oh, does it hit. Sunflora comes out next, which, for Radical Red, the creator decided to change up a handful of Pokemons and what their typings were. So Sunflora is Grass and Fire. So Water or Fire, neither really work great here. They Seed Flare and kill me, so I go to Snapper and I'm able to Rock Tomb twice, getting incredible lucky and dodging both of their Seed Flares. In comes Venusaur, so I switch to Ice Miser to take the Giga Drain, trying to get off an Ice Hammer, but dying to Sludge Bomb. Lapra comes out, which I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but with the type switching, Lapras is now a Water Dragon. I'm able to Mega and use Ice Beam, and we two-shot, but do drop to half and get poisoned in the process. Cinderace comes in, so we go to Eleganza to take the high jump kick. This Cinderace has Protein as an ability, so when it uses a move, its typing changes to match that move. So while you may want to attack with Water, this thing's gonna outspeed you, and it's gonna be a completely different type by the time you attack. So the Cinderace goes for the high jump kick, so we switch into our Gardevoir to resist the fighting type. Cinderace, then knowing that we resist fighting type, is gonna go for Pyro Ball, so I switch into our Golurk, who resists the fire typing. Cinderace, now seeing a super effective ghost attack on us, is going to go for Sucker Punch, which only attacks if the opponent is attacking. So I switch into Snapper the Dreadnought so that way Sucker Punch is wasted, at which point I am now able to use Protect, as they are going to go for a high jump kick again. Protect means that high jump kick does not hit me. High Jump Kick is a move that, if it misses, continues to propel the user until they crash into the floor, taking damage. So a quick rinse and repeat of this switch out method, I'm able to take out the Cinderace without even throwing a punch. Typhlosion comes in and I get super lucky dodging and hit a Liquidation, almost killing it, but not close enough. And then we manage to dodge a Focus Blast and kill. This is the run. Charizard comes in, and of course it's gonna Mega Y, so I switch to Eleganza to die to a Solar Beam to get a safe switch into Lapra, trying and failing to set up the Rain Dance. With the Sun up, Solar Beam doesn't have to cool down after they attack, and they can just keep spamming it. So instead Ned comes out, I survive a Solar Beam and manage to get Charizard down to the red, but Ned escapes with their emergency exit and Snapper comes back in. I'm forced back into Snappers, my only other Pokemon that's alive, and I stall a turn with Protect. Not realizing that Ned's Rock Tomb from that earlier turn actually dropped Charizard's speed enough that I now outspeed. I didn't need to Protect, I just hit the Rock Tomb on Snapper. I thought the attempt was over, but I won. I killed. And since my Kyogre was so amazing, Blaine was nice enough to give me a Mega Stone for Charizard Y. I'm sure that'll come in handy. I had been told there was a Virizion in Viridian Forest, so I saw that as another legendary opportunity, and, well, I'll just let the video speak for itself.
Pick one legendary out of here, assuming it's not a legendary we already have. If we already have the Pokemon, we cannot use it. Deal? Alright, let's see what we got from this Celebrations 25. Yveltal, Dark Flying, could be interesting. Could be interesting. Cosmog. We could choose I don't know how Cosmog's evolution works, though. I know it's Solgaleo or Lunala, but I don't know how, like, evolving it would actually work in this game. Yo! Oh, shoot! Yo! Charizard 25th anniversary! That is so hype! What? What? I think we take the Charizard!
Charizard? Right after getting the Mega Stone for Charizard Y? Let's go. So we name it 69 and we get its moves all nice and set up. So now it's time for Gym 8, right? Yeah. No? Oh. Brandon shows up and I'm like, rival battle. And I really wish it was just a rival battle. Off to Cerulean Cave. Team Rocket is up to no good, so while Brandon holds off Admin Ariana, I head deeper into the cave. I open a pack for our encounter and I grab Dynamo. Then find our way through the cave, whereupon I'm ambushed by two admins. Joy, a double battle. It's an easy double battle though. Right? Say right. No, I have to fight them both back to back. For Archer, Lapra leads and I surf twice, killing Mamoswine. Mimikyu comes in and finishes Lapra off, so Clang can come in and 2-tap with Mimikyu with the Gear Grind. Durant kills Clang and Heatran ends them. For Houndoom, they Mega and Sucker Punch Heatran, but Kiwi's able to take half damage and then kill them. For Ariana, Kiwi comes out and we Ancient Power to deal with their Focus Sash and then Origin Pulse, but they are able to set up a Trick Room. So Rhyperior comes in and I switch into 69 for the Earthquake to do nothing, and then I switch into Thunderhead, the Zekrom, to take the Rock Blast. Back to Charizard for the Earthquake, the Trick Room now ends, and I switch once more into Thunderhead, letting them die for a safe swap to Kiwi, who can now one-shot with Origin Pulse, since the Rhyperior no longer moves before them. Honchkrow kills Kiwi, and 69 is all that's left. I Mega Evolve and I go for the Air Slash. I 2-shot, and I'm left at 51 HP with Ariana's Mega Maul while joining the field. But I managed to one-shot with Flamethrower. I hope to never do that battle again. It sucked. I know I took it through there pretty quickly. It honestly took me about half an hour to get past the first two. That's using speed up. And I had to think ahead to the next fight. Like, who can I let die in the Archer fight so that way I have them available for the Ariana fight? It was rough. So they're concerned for their boss, and they send me to deal with him. A quick heal later, I go back to confront Giovanni, who catches Mewtwo with a Master Ball. This is going to be a tough fight, but it's all fine. Oh, shoot, Lance is here? Oh, Lance is going to save the day. Dope. I'm just going to go, like, read a book. Lance, you're a bad... You only brought 3 Pokemon, Lance? This is why you're never going to be champion. I quickly lose my first attempt, and when I go to reload my save, it's frozen. Completely glitched. Completely broken. And my last working save is before the Archer and Ariana battle. So I reattempt that battle. For Giovanni, I bring Clang, 69, and Kiwi. Lance has Dragapult, Salamence, and Dialga. What do you mean you didn't bring your best Pokemon, Lance? That's the deity of time. Who are your good Pokemon? I lead Clang and Gear Grind Tapalele, and it takes 2 turns to kill, but they're both obsessed with killing Dragapult, so I only take a little damage from a Drain Punch. Excadrill and Dialga come out, so I switch into 69. Dialga tries and fails to hurt Scrafty. They Drain Punch Charizard. I Mega and Air Slash Scrafty, while Dialga flamethrowers Excadrill, and it actually lands a burn on them as well. They respond with a Rock Slide, and Scrafty hits me with a knockoff. I finish off Scrafty, and Dialga finishes Excadrill. Mewtwo and Celesteela comes in for Giovanni. Mewtwo obviously Megas into Mewtwo Y and Expanded Forces, which kills me. Dialga does take some damage, and I'm able to bring Clang back out. I spend a really long time trying to decide who I should attack, but it doesn't matter. Mewtwo outspeeds me, Flamethrowers kills me. Kiwi comes in and is able to survive an Expanding Force. We Origin Pulse to kill the Celesteela, and majorly damage Mewtwo, which allows Dialga to finish them off with a Thunderbolt. All Giovanni has left is Tyranitar. Origin Pulse it is! It does almost half, and Dialga gets them down to a third left before dropping to a high horsepower, with Salamence coming in and Megaing. We're able to beat Giovanni with one last Origin Pulse. Mewtwo tells us I should come back at some time later and then kicks us out. Giovanni then decides that the error of their ways, and I guess we just let them off with a warning, like they apologized. Like, hey, you know, I'm glad you worked it out, but, you know, you committed a crime. Cool motive. Still guilty. Lance, arrest that! He's gone. I head to Mount Moon to get my second to last legendary in Capellion, and we choose Dialga. So, now Gym 8? It was now time. I had beaten Giovanni, so who was the leader of Gym 8? What wild and crazy trainers would I have to fight to get to them? Oh, this is nice. I truly spent an entire stream attempting to beat them, and they were tough. But I not only had luck, but skill. Okay, mainly luck. I brought Lechonk the Welrin, Zig the Dialga, Thunderhead the Zekrom, 69 the Charizard with their Megastone Y, Kiwi the Kyogre, and Eleganza the Gardevoir. I led Kiwi as their Aerodactyl lead was Focus Sashed, as well as would set up Stealth Rocks, and I didn't want that. Leading Kiwi made the AI instead go for a taunt turn 1, trying to keep me from setting up my Calm Mines, which is great for me. I Ancient Power turn 1 to break the Sash, and then I Ice Beam for a kill. When Durlodon comes in and goes to Mega, I switch into Eleganza. They were going for a Draco Meteor, which doesn't affect me thanks to my Fairy typing. I shift to get into Zig to take the Steel Beam. Although it's not very effective, it's a Mega and Stab, so it does some decent damage. Next turn, they Draco Meteor again, which leaves me at 8 HP, but 1 Earth Power is able to KO them. They bring out the Dragonite, and the AI seeing a kill will Extreme Speed, so it doesn't really matter. So I come in with Lechonk, and while they set up the Dragon Dance, I'm able to hit an Ice Beam. It does a little bit over half, and it activates their Weakness Policy, giving them a few boosts. They're able to kill me, so I bring in 69. I Mega, and I'm able to Dragon Claw for the kill. Luckily, they missed their dual Wing Beat, so no damage on me. With Dracovish coming in, I switch back to Kiwi, who is able to take a Vicious Rin, but sadly doesn't outspeed and dies to the next, which does give me a safe swap into Thunderhead. I hit Fusion Bowl, but they switch into Magnernia, so I do almost half, but a second crit is enough to KO. Naganadel comes in, which means I need to switch to Eleganza to avoid getting one-shot. This thing is fast, very fast, and it hits very hard. It's destroyed my team so many times through this attempt. And here's where Elegenza's entire worth of this fight comes in. And this is why I didn't use them earlier. They are holding the Focus Sash. So while they get left at 1 HP, it allows me to do one more move. Trick Room. Which means all of my Pokemon now move before them. So now Allegenza's outspeeding, since they're slower. I'm able to hit a Hypnosis, and I actually land it. So there's the luck I talked about earlier. With them asleep, I hit a Dream Eater to one-shot them, which brings back up my health. And then they are left with their final Pokemon, Dracovish. I land a second Hypnosis and start to eat their dream, but they wake up and kill me. But Thunder Red is able to pop in, hit that Fusion Bolt, which gives us our 8th and final gym badge. And with that, it was time for one last trek of the series. A research aide shows up to tell me about the roaming legendaries, but I only have one pack of my 25th anniversary left, so I say, cool, and forget about them. Hey, surprise, surprise, it's PTCG, our rival. I have the same team from Gym 8, except Clang Gang has replaced Lechonk. PTCG leads Staraptor and Brave Birds turn 1, almost killing Kiwi. I'm able to Ancient Power and leave them at 1 HP. Expecting to lose Kiwi, I now hit a second Ancient Power, but they switch out for some reason into Electivire, and then I hit them and do absolutely nothing. I let Kiwi drop for a safe swap into Zig. They are able to take a close combat, left at 2 HP, and then they're able to kill with Earth Power. Staraptor comes back and kills Zig. I bring Clang and I shift gear while they again switch into Kartana. They really want to keep that bird around. I'm able to get them below half before they kill Clang, but 69 comes in to Mega and finish them. Azumarill comes in and Thunderhead ends them and does some decent damage to Darmanitan before dropping. All I have left at this point is 69. I Dragon Claw and take out Darmanitan and Air Slash to end Staraptor. This is where my real luck is. They go for a Sleep Powder with their Venusaur, and it misses. Twice. Allowing me to Flamethrower to victory. First try. And with all that, we thank PTCG for all they've done for us, and we begin our way through the badge gates. So, I open up a pack for our badge gate route, and you can just go ahead and watch this one.
Terrible cut. Alright, ooh, we got a white card code. Although I actually don't remember if that does anything. Masquerade Strike. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, what do we got here? What do we got here? What do we got here? Executor. Not feeling Executor. Weavile. Weavile actually could be great. Kindler, let's go for the Kindler. Spirit Tomb. Not really feeling Spirit Tomb. Burmy. Shoot. I think we go for Burmy. Impidimp. Impidimp would be fun, but I feel like between... I think Weavile is winning right now. Staryu. Riolu. Getting a Lucario. Do I have Mega Lucario abilities here? I'm sure Lucario Ignite exist somewhere in this game. That would give us that strong fighting type we needed. Just another dragon type. Where does he know? Burmy. And do we have a big card? Okay, it's not a full art. Not a full art, either a poison or it's a psychic type card. Burmy or oh. But Burmy, yeah. Burmy is what we need to pull. I still have my Master Ball, and after a quick poll with chat to decide between Burmy and Mewtwo, they thankfully give me Mewtwo. So as to not forget the forgotten Burmy, we name it Trash, we give it our Mega Stone Y, and we continue through Victory Road. But it could never be that easy. Brandon is waiting and ready to fight, with a Deoxys for some reason. I lead out Eddie, who can take one hit, and one hit only, but a Leaf Blade activates Dio's Focus Sash, and then I'm able to Sucker Punch to kill. Landorus comes in, and knowing I'm dying, hit another Sucker Punch to get some damage. I bring out Kiwi, and they switch into Jirachi just as I Ice Beam.
I get the freeze on Jirachi and I'm able to switch into Charizard, Megaking, and killing with Flamethrower. They bring back Landorus and I switch into Ice Miser, who just kind of dies. Kiwi comes in and takes an Earth Power and is able to kill with an Ice Beam thanks to Landorus taking the recoil damage. Zapdos Galar comes out, so I switch into Trash, who's able to take a Brave Bird, leaving me at 71 HP, and I'm able to kill with a Psychic. Sceptile comes in and I hit Recover as they hit Mega, but they sadly outspeed me and Trash becomes Trash. Kiwi comes in and is also too slow, dying. Even Mega Charizard doesn't outspeed, but Sceptile decides to Dragon Dance, so I get some great damage with a Flamethrower and get the burn, which causes their next move to leave 69 still breathing, and I can finish them with a final Flamethrower, leaving Hauntel as Brendan's last Mon. I Air Slash them, dropping them almost to red, and die to Liquidation, leaving Thunderhead to do what they tend to do best, clean up and win me the match. Now it's time for Victory Road. So, on the first pack of Victory Road, I encounter and I actually pull another Charizard. I take Kingler as my encounter, though, and then begin my way through Victory Road. These battles are no joke, and I'll be honest, the rules changed again here. The Nuzlocke was over. I got my 8 badges. All of these trainers were tough. I'm just trying to survive. A lot of these battles through Victory Road took me 2 or 3 times to beat. Some of them I still beat first try. These were tough battles. I'm not going to show you each and every one since this video is already too long. But the exciting thing that happened was Moltres. We caught ourselves a Groudon. Making the West 3 through Victory Road, I finally found the end. And just when I thought it was time for the Elite Four, this happened.
Well, well, well. Thought you could waltz into the Pokemon League without another boss battle? Kind of! Yeah! I did think that. Yes, I did. Who am I? I'm Supercell. Anyway, I can't let any scrubs complete my game, so I'll need to give you... Oh, why? Why? No! I did think I could just waltz in there. Did you not read the Do Not Enter private property on my plateau? Level 100? Get ready to lose. Okay, well, I actually do have to switch for you. I think this is supposed to be a meme battle. It's supposed to be a meme battle. That's funny.
You know what? 10 out of 10 troll. Let's talk about the Elite Four and how I played it. Just like a normal Elite Four, you fight one after another, not being able to swap your team. In Radical Red, though, they do offer to fully heal you between each battle, so for my run, I don't have to worry about who dies or what moves I use. I don't have to heal myself or use power points. It doesn't matter. It gets healed at the end. The other thing, each Elite Four members has 2 different teams that they could use, and it's completely random on which version of the team they're going to use. So you could walk into one person and be prepared to fight one team, and then, oh, nope, now they're using a different team. So, you know, fun. My team for the Elite Four was Eddie the Dedusai, Thunderhead the Zekrom, Kiwi the Kyogre, Trash the Mewtwo with Mega Y-Stone, 69 the Charizard with the Y Mega Stone, and Nightwing the Staraptor. For the purposes of this video, I will only tell you about how I beat each member of the Elite Four and that specific team. For full transparency, I also saved between each member of the Elite Four and would reload if they didn't use the team I wanted them to use or if I lost. The Elite Four took me a while. I'm sure you know by this point in the video, I'm not the best at Pokemon. I'm getting better. I'm learning a lot. This Radical Red playthrough has taught me a lot. So I did what I needed to do to win the challenge. Lorelei likes to hit you with a double battle. They are the only member of the Elite Four to do so, so you have to keep that in mind when what we're deciding to do. They have 2 separate teams. One of them is water-based, one of them is ice-based. The water-based leads a Politoed and Poliwrath, while the ice leads a Alolan Ninetales and a Glaceon. My best chances lied with the type matchups for the water team, so that's the team I decided to attempt. I start off with Thunderhead and Eddie. I have Eddie Leaf Blade the Poliwrath, almost killing it, and then I use Thunderhead to finish it off with a Fusion Bolt. It has a Focus Sash, so the only way to kill it turn 1 was to double up on it. The Politoed used Skull, doing about a fifth of HP to Eddie. Next up, they bring out Kingdra, so I Draco Meteor into them, while Eddie swaps into Kiwi to take the Hurricane. Zekrom kills Kingdra, and Politoed scalds Zekrom. It barely damages, but it does land a burn. Swampert comes in for Lorelei, and Earthquake's almost killing everyone. Kiwi's able to finish off the Politoed with an Ice Beam, and Thunderhead slightly damages Swampert before dying to their burn. Nightwing comes in, and thus begins my rinse and repeat method with them that I try to bring to every member of the Elite Four. The Fear method. Fear typically is used with a low-level Rattata, thus standing for Focus Sash, Endeavor, Quick Attack, and Rattata. In my case, Nightwing holds the Focus Sash, meaning it cannot be one-shot. It has Endeavor, which means the opponent Pokemon that I choose to select in a double battle or in a single battle, just the opponent's Pokemon, is brought to the same HP as myself. That does mean if I have 20 HP, they are also dropped to 20. In this case, I'm using the Focus Sash, meaning that they would drop to 1 HP, so that way next turn I can Quick Attack and kill them. With Politoed down, Lorelei brings out Primal Kyogre, so we use Endeavor on them. Kiwi is taken out by the Swampert, meaning their Kyogre can only target Nightwing, dropping us to 1 HP and us being able to drop them to 1 HP, having utilized Endeavor. I bring out Mewtwo and I Mega them. I use Nightwing to Quick Attack and kill the Kyogre, and Mewtwo Y uses Psychic to almost finish off Swampert. Dracovish comes in, and Trash is able to finish off Swampert while sitting at about half HP, while Dracofish Vicious Rins on Mewtwo. Oh no, they killed Mewtwo. Oh well, I guess my 1 HP Nightwing can Endeavor Dracovish and bring them down to 1 HP. Shrug. Eddie comes in for a Sucker Punch to end things, and just like that, I'm a fourth of the way there. We will definitely be talking about Bruno. Bruno, of course, has 2 teams, one that leads Infernape, the other one leads Rapid Strike Urshifu. I went with the latter team. I lead Eddie and I go for a Leaf Blade. Urshifu U-turns into Conquerdurl, and so I score a crit, bringing them below half, and I'm able to hit them again. No crit this time, so they're still standing with a small amount of health left, and they Ice Punch, and Eddie doesn't wake up, and I don't like it. Nightwing comes in and I use Fly to kill. Zacian comes in with an Intrepid Sword, which majorly increases their attack stat. There is no way I'm killing this thing with anything but my Fear method. And Bruno brings in Scizor, who kills Nightwing. 69 comes in, Megas, and uses Flamethrower. We do manage to take some damage from Bullet Punch, but we do finish them off. Urshifu comes back in, so I switch into Kiwi to take some hits, and then I switch into Thunderbolt to take the close combat. They managed to hit 2 and drop me to 42 HP, but with the defense drop from close combat, they stand no chance but defeat. Well, they have a Focus Sash and end up killing me, so 69 comes back in to finish them off. Terrakion comes in, kills 69, and I get a safe switch back into Kiwi, who can take a close combat and can kill with Origin Pulse. Thank you, stat drop. Bruno's final Pokemon is Lucario, and they Mega and drop me to just Trash. I can't Mega Evolve, so it comes down to speed and power. I hit an Aura Sphere and Lucario sits at probably 5 HP. This is sad. I've lost. There's no way I can... Oh, wait, they went for a setup move instead of attacking? Oh, I have a chance. They go for a Vacuum Wave, and it has priority, so speed doesn't matter. And I slowly watch the HP drop. Hey, but it's not that effective, so Trash brings me to a win number 2. With that, I wrap up my second to last stream, and I find myself excited for what's to come next. So it was Agatha all along who would end up giving me the most trouble. After plenty of failed attempts against both of her teams, as neither really gave me advantage, I was at a loss. Her 2 teams either led with a Zoroark disguised as a Gengar or Grimmsnarl. I ended up beating the Grimmsnarl team. I lead 69, who Megas and uses a Flamethrower, which due to the Light Scream that they just set up doesn't do as much as it should, and then a misclick wastes my turn as I attempt to hit a fairy type with a dragon move. My next turn brings it back, getting a burn on my flamethrower, and I switch into Kiwi to take the spirit break. With them soon dying to their burn, I went for a Calm Mind, but they countered with Taunt, which keeps you from using any move that isn't an attacking move. So I attack, I Ice Beam as they switch into Gengar, and I managed to also hit a crit, dropping them below half and freeze them. Let's go. But that doesn't matter. They Mega and Defrost, going for a setup move. They eat the Ice Beam, all thanks to that light screen, which thankfully fades. Gengar also has Shadow Tag, which means I cannot switch out. I am stuck here. So a Thunderbolt kills me, and I bring out Thunderhead, who kills, but is poisoned and promptly dies to the poisoning. Great. I toss back in 69 as Grimmsnarl returns and finish them. With the Reflect down, Spectre comes in, I go for a Flamethrower and actually land the burn again, but they have dropped my special defense with Shadow Ball. Knowing from an earlier attempt, they are Scarfed. It's an item that boosts their speed but locks them into one move. In this case, the Ghost move, Shadow Ball. So I switch into Nightwing, who is a normal flying, which means Ghost moves do absolutely nothing. So I'm able to fly and finish them off. Dragapult comes in and I fly. Due to the Ghost typing, I cannot use the Fear strategy on any of these Pokemon, so I managed to take a hit and I drop them below half before Nightwing's inevitable death. I bring out Eddie to Sucker Punch to finish off the Dragapult. Agatha brings in Hydreigon. I get paralyzed, but I do score a crit on my Leaf Blade, almost doing no damage. They end me next turn, and all I have left is Trash and 69. Sounds like a bad time. The next 3 turns are incredibly sad. Turn 1, I outspeed an Aura Sphere, doing a ton of damage, but they paralyze me, halving my speed. Turn 2, they then outspeed me, doing so much damage to me, and I am fully paralyzed. And they kill Trash. But on turn 4, 69 is able to come in and kill, leaving us with a 1v1. Agatha's final Pokemon is Marshadow. They begin to set up with Bulk Up, and I go for the Air Slash, hoping to outspeed and flinch. And I almost one-shot. The defense bump they got from Bulk Up saved them. The AI goes for a Spectral Thief, and I survive at 14 HP. Bring me my 3rd Elite Four win. That was a close match. Lance had a rough team for me. I really couldn't find a way through either of their teams. Team 1 led a Garchomp that was very attack-focused. Team 2 led an Aerodactyl, and both team leads had a Focus Sash, and they always Stealth Rocked turn 1, no matter who I set up against them. I ended up settling for the Garchomp team. I led Kiwi, who could drop them to 1 HP with an Ice Beam, but then of course they would still Stealth Rock me. The difference on this attempt is I actually froze them. The rocks were still up, but this was a change. I swapped into Eddie, who was wearing some heavy-duty boots, so the rocks didn't hurt them, and I Sucker Punched them to end. As Dragonite came in, I switched back to Kiwi as they began the Dragon Dance. They tended to spend 2 turns Dragon Dancing no matter what their HP was, but it always took me 3 turns to kill with an Ice Beam. So we ended up surviving on 24 HP, but they were dead. Bright side? Melmetal came in, and knowing I would die, just hit some chip damage with an Ice Beam. 69 coming in really sucks in this setup due to the Stealth Rocks being up. With Charizard being a flying type, it does almost a little over half damage to them. So no wasting a Mega on them, and Flamethrower is able to drop them almost to red. Trash can now come in, Mega Evolve, and finish them off. For Dracozolt, I switch into Eddie to try a fun play. If that doesn't work, Eddie dies real fast, and I'm back to Trash. I one-shot with a Psychic, so I guess I should have stayed in, but I'm bad at Pokemon. Salamence comes in, Mega Evolves while I go for the Psychic. They Dragon Dance, boosting their speed. Hey, but remember how earlier I told you every day that I streamed, my ability randomly changed? Well, my ability really worked out for today. Today, my ability was Speed Boost. Every turn, I got faster, which meant it didn't matter how much they Dragon Danced. Every turn, I was getting a speed boost and was gonna outspeed them. So before they could even attack, I ended them. Their last Pokemon is Primal Dialga. I go for an Aura Sphere, and I get about 1/4 of their damage done, but they use Roar of Time, which hurts me real bad, and it also causes a random Pokemon to swap out. This is another battle that Nightwing cannot use the Fear method due to the Stealth rocks being up. It breaks the ability to Focus Sash if the Pokemon is not at full HP, so instead I go for a close combat. I managed to outspeed and I dropped them below half. Their War of Time does kill me this time, so I'm able just to bring out Trash and it not be random. I Aura Sphere and almost kill them, so it's all down to Thunderhead. I'm able to outspeed, Draco Meteor, and win the day. I am now the Pokemon League champion.
I still can't believe my dragons lost to you, Wiz. You are now the Pokemon League champion. Nope, he said it. Nah, he said it. We're the Pokemon League champion. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today. We became the Pokemon League champion. That's pretty hype. It's pretty hype. Or you would have been, but you have one more challenge left. There's one more trainer to face. His name is the Pokemon Trading Card Game.
Alright, whatever, I'm not the champion, but hey, this is it. This is the final battle. Can I beat Pokemon Radical Red only using Pokemon that I got from Pokemon cards? Yes, that's literally the title of the video. But hey, here's how it went anyways. This was a tough battle for a few reasons. The champion had a really good team, obviously, but unlike the Elite Four, they only had one team, so I only had to try and figure out how to beat that one team. I really didn't have a lot of counters to this team. Hey, but remember earlier when I was just so happy with my random abilities? Meet Thunderhead, the OP Zekrom, who has done so much amazing work for us throughout this entire run. Do you want to know what their ability was randomly randomized to on this final day? I'll give you a hint. It sucks. Truant. Truant is a lovely ability that makes your Pokemon only attack every other turn. Turn A, you attack. Turn B, you're just loafing around. Great. For my champion battle, I could tell you what happens, but I honestly think you should just watch. You can hear as I talk through it and try and figure it out on this final amazing attempt.
So now, Pheromosa no longer has a Focus Sash, so we're good. We put in the cheat code, and we got rid of the Focus Sash. Just pretend like it's dead, because we put in the cheat code. Just pretend. I do love that this Groudon AI just refuses, to not paralyze anything that comes in. This Groudon has to paralyze until it's paralyzed the entire team. You had no idea. Yeah, it's if you buy the full paralyze, there sucks because we don't get to just like die and come into someone else. I feel like there's probably a better way to word that. Coming to Charizard causes them to bring out Eternatus, which is what's rough. Overflowing with power, they Meteor Beam. They Dynamax Cannon. We almost kill that. Actually, Eddie, can you now Sucker Punch this thing to death? You can, beautiful. Pheromosa, can you Sucker Punch this thing to death? You can, nice. Eddie out here just giving him the nice 1-2. The nice 1-2. This is the 1-2. This is the 1, and this is the 2, and you hit him like that. So this is who we have left. We're not switching out here because Thunderhead needs to come in at full health to survive this. So we're just gonna Thunder Punch, because this just kills me. Oh, it didn't kill me. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that I should have 1,000 arrows. But it doesn't matter, because Thunderhead... The old Razzly Dazzly. Because they Dark Hold me here. Thunderhead can survive this at full health. Because how much damage does this do? It's 291. It drops me. It does 190 damage. And it has the chance to put to sleep. But we have the Chesto Berry. So as long as it doesn't even matter if it puts me to sleep because we wake up. Which, you know, is stuff. Who do you have left? Darmanitan. Who else do you have left? I don't remember. We're Truanted now. So it doesn't matter what we click on because it's not going to happen anyways. We're just going to die. And then... I don't remember what their other Pokemon is. Let me double check what their other Pokemon is. Darmanitan. Metagross. Metagross. Metagross is their other Pokemon. So we'll come in with Trash here to Aura Sphere. Please take an Earthquake. Mewtwo, please, I beg you. Mewtwo, if I had room in front of my desk to get on my knees right now, I would get on my knees and beg you. Well, Charizard, I need Charizard for Metagross. Beautiful. And Trash with the choice specs can do this. This is doable. If Charizard doesn't get flinched, this is the thing. As long as Charizard does not get flinched, we win. Because Charizard can A, take a Zen Headbutt, and B, kills with a Flamethrower. But if Charizard is flinched, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If Charizard gets flinched, nothing matters. We are choice spec'd here, so this is going to do some decent damage. There's no way this kills, though. It does great damage, though. But we know Charizard kills. Assuming they do not get flinched. We could be the champion. We could beat Radical Red right now. We could beat Radical Red right now. Right now we could beat Radical Red. Yo! Yes! Yo! That can't be. It is. It is. You just got defeated by Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards defeated you. I save scummed a lot, but I don't care. Why did I lose? Because you don't have the heart of the cards. The heart of the cards is what you needed. I am the Pokemon League champion. You are correct. Oh my gosh. First left was Squirtle. Oh, we did leave with a Squirtle. You're right, because we just chose a Pokemon and went and I actually don't. Who was our starter? Who was our starter? Now I actually don't remember who our starter was. Yikes. I don't remember who our starter was. Yeah, love and trust. Love and trust. All about the love and trust. Congratulations! Congratulations! I've worked hard. You're right. I used saves. I gave up after the second gym on if this was a Nuzlocke. So you're right. I worked hard for this. And we have 4 packs left, which we're going to open up these 4 packs as soon as like this is completely done. I sped up a bit too much there. Zekrom, Mewtwo, Charizard, Staraptor, Kiwi, and... Oh, man. What a great team. What a great team. Eddie, Kiwi, Nightwing, 69, Trash, and Thunderhead with your stupid Truon ability that you got today. Thank you all so much for watching this amazing journey. It was such a blast to play, and honestly, try and improve my overall Pokemon knowledge. And I did. I ended up printing out a type sheet chart, so that way I could sit here and actually figure out how these Pokemon works with chat. So much of my life has just been playing Pokemon for fun, and I still want to do that, but I actually want to learn the ins and outs of this system, and it was such a joy to actually get to do that live on stream. So to bring this video to a close, at the end of that final stream, after I'd ended up defeating and now becoming the new champion, I still had a couple of Pokemon packs sitting around that I hadn't opened yet. So since this entire challenge was about opening Pokemon cards, it seemed like a good way to finish off the stream. And I do want to show you all, because there were some wild pulls in these last couple of packs. But it's a really pretty mat. Water energy yet again. We got Sandslash. We got Swadloon. We got Power Tablet. A Shinx. A Shelmet. A Drillbur. A Buttlebee. More Pico. We got Reverse Hollow Toxicroak and Yo! Mew VMAX? That's such a cool card. I think this is the alternate art, too. I believe this is the alternate art Mew VMAX. I could be absolutely wrong. That is such a pretty card. Go to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm really hoping, I really would love to pull a Ditto. Ditto or a Radiant Pokemon is really what I want. We got Xatu. We got Blanche. Solrock. We got Squirtle. Oh, I feel like we're out of focus. Squirtle. We got Wimpod. Larvitar. We got Numel. We got a little Bulbasaur. Yo! Radiant Charizard! Not these, the Radiant cards don't go for a lot, but they're shiny and I love them and I want them for the collection. And Snorlax, which also, these are 2 cards I don't have yet. I just would really love to pull a Ditto card. Be really happy to pull a Ditto. Camerupt. Blanche. Blanche, I feel like, is my #1 pulled card in this for some reason. Ivysaur. Spinarak. Alolan Rattata. Wimpod. Pikachu. Squirtle. Our reverse holo Pikachu. And... Yo! Mewtwo V-Star! Hey, that's something new. Back-to-back Mewtwo's. That's pretty hype. Thank you all so much again for watching this. If you enjoyed this, I ask that you please subscribe, share it with a friend, check me out on all the social medias, check out my other channel where I focus on Town of Salem social deduction, follow me on TikTok where I'm posting random Pokemon clips, and have a great day, be kind to each other, and I will see you in the next one.